Everyone, and welcome to this video introducing the BSS065-3 Business in Practice unit. So we're just going to give a very brief overview of the unit, as well as pointing you towards some of the key resources you'll want to familiarize yourselves with. So the Business in Practice unit, broken down fundamentally, is about two specific elements. So in the first element, we're going to be trying to understand how we can improve areas of business practice and how we can address specific business problems. So we're going to be using the business consultancy process for this, as well as real business problems. So both your assessments will be based on real case studies, so companies that have real companies that have specific issues and problems, and you'll be acting as a business consultant, giving them recommendations for how to address and solve their problems. The second element of the unit we'll be focusing on is developing our own professional practice, so focusing on professionalism and collaborative working. So for professionalism, we'll be, as we go through the unit, we'll be looking at things such as status update presentations, professional communication styles, emailing, and so on, as well as having a heavy focus on collaborative working and teamwork. So you will be working in groups throughout much of the unit, and there will be group preparation and research and collaboration leading up to your individual assessments as well. So take the business in practice to mean both the actual reality of business problems and business consultancy processes to solve those, as well as looking at our own individual professional practice. So in terms of the key resources, the first thing I strongly recommend everyone to do is to read through the frequently asked questions document on the Brioche. So you'll find this both in the unit information folder, but also the welcome and orientation folder. So it's a relatively short document, is not 30-40 pages long. So it's a short document, but it does address most of the common questions and issues that students have on the unit. So first thing to do, I would strongly recommend, is to read through this document itself. So on the Brioche, you will find a range of different folders, and it's always a good idea to go through them, particularly at the start of the unit, to help you familiarize yourself with the topics and tools that we're going to be covering. But the two key ones are always going to be your study program and assessment and feedback. So bear in mind that there are some weeks under your study program where we are doing mock activities where we don't have, say, for example, activity briefs available beforehand, because we want to actually go through the activities in the class in person. But for most weeks, you will find lecture slides, reading, and additional resources ahead of time, so you can go through and read them both before and after the sessions. And in the assessment and feedback folder in particular, you'll find both the assessment briefs and case studies, but you'll also find two discussion boards, a discussion board for assessment 1 and a discussion board for assessment 2. Please do use those for any questions or issues you're having with the assessments. I check the discussion boards every 1 or 2 days at most, so you will get a relatively quick reply to your questions, but it is important to seek clarification or to ask questions if you have any issues with the assessments ahead of time if possible. And lastly, because we are going to be looking at critical success factors during the unit, I just want to highlight what I think are 3 critical success factors for achieving a high grade in this unit. The first one, and this cannot be stressed enough, is attendance. So we know that attending classes is obviously a key part of succeeding in any unit, but particularly with this unit. So because we're having such a heavy focus on collaboration, group work, and teamwork, a lot of this is going to be done during class sessions. Even the teamwork you'll be doing outside of class, the basis and the planning is going to be done in class. So this is not a unit you can do remotely. The course is an in-person course, and the unit itself is an in-person unit, and it's been designed as such. So please do make sure you attend the class every week. Secondly is planning and communication. Now, you may not have top tier planning and communication skills at the start of the unit, but this is something we need to develop by the end of the unit. So effectively communicating with your group members outside of the class, planning your projects, planning your assessments, planning your entire semester is really going to be key in getting a high grade. And lastly, use of support resources. So these are complex assignments. They're real, companies with real kind of messy business problems. So there are going to be times where you will need to use additional support resources, and there are lots of resources available to you. So don't think that all you need from the Brio Show is the assignment brief and you can just take the assignment brief and everything else will be fine. There's lots and lots of stuff available to you that would really help you on this unit. But thank you guys very much, and yeah, I look forward to seeing you all in the first class. Take care.